Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, well, give everybody a little bit of time to get in here, but as you can see, this is the MRE that I had out last week as a just in case the other thing that I was doing last week, the mac and cheese, didn't work out. But that ended up being a stellar live stream. I think if you didn't catch that one, I would highly suggest you go back and check it out because even in my own opinion, I feel like that one turned out really well. I feel like the live stream last week had plenty of information. Uh, I wasn't horrible at the delivery. I mean, if I was making a video, which I could have easily done out of that, it would have I would have taken out all the silence and things like that were involved there. But other than that, I think it was pretty good. And like I said, usually I don't compliment anything of my own because well, I mean, and you can't call yourself humble and be humble, but I don't know. I just don't really pay that much attention to what I do, content wise and things like that. It's just I do this for fun, and yeah. But I really did enjoy last week's. I felt good about it, and I want to do some more stuff like that. And I was going through a lot of my older stuff, and I have literally a couple items that I feel like could be a standalone content live stream in themselves. Maybe. One of them that I wouldn't mind trying is Jello, except Jello takes so long to set up that I don't know that I could pull that one off unless I pre-made it. Which I guess I could do that. I mean, I, I don't know. It's a thought. Jello is definitely one of them. Checking out a couple different coffees would be cool. Some old instant coffees, giving some history on the companies. Got some McCormick and Maxwell House, I think, and Folgers. And I do still have that little can of instant coffee. Where in the heck is it? It's right here somewhere. I don't know. I've got a lot of things piled up around here. A lot of cans and whatnot piled up around here. But if you guys are in here right now, don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down. Either way, it's much appreciated. Let Google know what you're thinking. And I guess this is just the time in the live stream where I beg for your likes or dislikes. Most people just say likes, but I don't care. Either way, any interaction is good interaction to the Google juggernaut machine. So, Nicholas Litfin, I think I might have pronounced that correctly. So talking about MREs, I have a spaghetti bolognese. Spaghetti bolognese. That sounds like a... Oh, that's a RCW. That's a Ration Cold Weather. Ration Cold Weather is the only one that ever came with bolognese, which is spaghetti with little noodles. So it's little noodle spaghetti. Yeah, so that must be freeze dried. It's the only way that came. Unless I'm missing something. Maybe I missed a year where spaghetti was called bolognese in a MRE, but I don't know. Good to see you, Shocker. By the way, I hardly ever see you, man. It's good to see you. Elandel, what's up, my man? You guys being down there in the southeast where you guys are, which this got its start really in Louisiana, really even to be more specific in New Orleans. So back in the what was it, late 1700s, 1790s ish, somewhere along in there, when the Spanish traveled to America, the new settlers, I guess you'd call them, they wanted to they wanted to make paella, but they didn't have any saffron. Where they were located, they couldn't get saffron, so instead they used tomato, which is what you'd call a red jambalaya. But they started making their paella with the tomatoes and some other locally sourced items. So it ended up being called Jumbalaya. And it's weird because it came from a French word and it kind of mixed with a French word and paella. So the French word I hope that I pronounced this correctly, is jabon, or maybe it's jambon. I don't know. It's pronounced jambon if you say it like an American, but jambon, I believe, because it is a French word, and they mixed that with paella. So jambon and paella, they came up with jambalaya. And back then they used all different kinds of things, alligator, possum, whatever, roadkill ish type foods, or wild animals that they would kill, or even chickens. It didn't matter, anything. And me myself, if I make jambalaya, I always use sausage. I know shrimp is really what jambalaya is mainly sourced around your proteins now. But like I said, me myself personally, I'm a sausage guy. I like to put a really nice sausage that I pan sear on both sides, caramelize, and then I mix that in and use that caramelized sauce. It adds a little more color and it adds a lot more flavor. And I do strain off a lot of the grease from the sausages just because I don't want a big grease ball of a jambalaya, but you can put it in there. It's up to you. That's the one thing about jambalaya too. It's a collection of a lot of different food items, really, when it comes down to it. So you can make it how you want it, with going with your proteins and things. But traditionally, shrimp now is the main, that or sausage, and you can either make it with tomato or without. Like I said, mentioned earlier, with tomato, it's going to be considered red jambalaya. But now I want to take a real quick moment and thank you guys, anybody who was kind enough to donate to the GoFundMe last week. And I'm going to put that back up in the what's this called, the chat, just in case somebody wants to find it. I've got to find it real quick, so give me just 1 second. I've got to go back here and find. Where's my buddy at? So gabeRILLA, or Gabe, I just call him Gabe, is the one who, it was one of his really good friends' family. Well, the mother, actually, the one that takes care of things, and she's got two disabled children. Honestly, just really solid, salt of the earth, good people, and that is why I didn't mind just telling you guys about the GoFundMe, because, like I said, this is not something that I do. You guys don't see me, peddling GoFundMes or donate money to me, or I don't ask for anything. I didn't ask you guys to do that. I just put it out there as an option. If you wanted to, there it is. And I do highly appreciate you guys being kind enough to help those folks out, because nobody wants to see anybody lose their house, really, but you really don't want to see good people lose their house. So that's kind of where I was at. Oh, cool. This video is not monetized. Awesome. Anyway, so here comes the link to the GoFundMe into the chat. And I do need to create a post also, real quick, because you know how YouTube is. What in the hell is that noise? That's driving me crazy. That's like the 4th time it's done that in 5 minutes. So I've been sick for about a week, for the 2nd time in a month, or actually the 2nd time in 3 weeks. This time it's completely different than how I was sick last time, but this time I'm having a really hard time regulating my body heat and my, I guess, just core temperature, because I am freezing right now, but I'm sweating my ass off. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just, sweat's pouring down my face right now. My hands are freezing, and it was 90 some degrees outside today, and I was sweating. And then whenever I came back in the house, it was cold in here. I got freezing cold. I don't know what. It's all started with an immensely intense headache, and I still have that headache. And today is like day 3 or 4, something like that, that I've had a constant headache. It has lightened up a lot at this point, but there's been times where it's gotten worse. It's weird, and especially if I like bend over. So it just adds a lot of pressure into my cranial cavity, I guess. That yeah, makes it pound. All right, real quick, we are going to go with the post here on YouTube. Share, copy link, create a post. Yeah, I don't understand why I've been sick so often. I've been taking antibiotics that my doctor gave me, my surgeon, orthopedic surgeon, I think. But for the amount of time when I was taking the antibiotics, I felt fine. I actually felt above average while I was taking them. But now that I'm not taking them, boom, I'm sick. And I've been sick twice now. It's driving me absolutely bonkers. Because I feel like crap all the time. Okay, I'm going to stop complaining. Sorry about that. Let's see. Come join the chat live. Oops, not love, live. I hate autocorrect. My hands are really clammy right now. Okay. I think that's finally got it. And if you guys enjoyed that food trivia last week, I thought it was pretty fun. I enjoy question and answer type deals. And one thing I forgot to do was ask for your all's collective scores to see who actually won trivia. And I wish I would have done that. It goes on an honor system. You have to, you got to be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, then you're going to struggle in life anyway. So if you want to cheat at it, you can. I know some people do. It's up to you. Now, on to the MRE. This is a 2001, I assume, because Warnick does not put a date stamp on the bag. All right, Cat, please go. Go on. I ain't going to have you up there right now. Warnick does not put a date stamp on the bag anywhere. Nothing on the bottom. And nothing on the top. Front, side, or back. It's just something they don't do, which kind of ticks me off because, come on, like, you should put the date stamp on your product. Regardless of whether it's going to the military or anyone else, it should be on there. That's my personal opinion. But, that being said, Warnick is one of the big three, right? What's one of the big three official government contracted producers of military grade MREs or actual military MREs. You got Warnick, you got Spacco, and Spacco, Warnick, and I can't remember the other one right now. I'm just having a brain fart. See, this is what I've been dealing with. Like, anyway, give me a second. Oh, Ameriqual. The Ameriqual, Spacco, and Warnick. So Warnick is the one that's nearest to my house. Not that it matters, because they basically have nothing for you to see as a civilian to go and purchase product or anything like that. It's just a big manufacturing plant that really, the only thing I know that they really focus on, they do sell their own civilian MREs, and their civilian MREs are called EverSafes. And I don't have one handy. Maybe I do, actually. Yeah, probably do, but I'm not going to dig it out. Anyways, EverSafes, they've came in completely clear bags. They also come in blue bags with EverSafe printed on them they kind of look like those blue lines that a civilian company was doing there a few years ago. They might still be doing those blue lines. But anyway, Warnick, out of the big three, is really I would call them the top company, because Warnick, outside of Ameriqual and Sepaco, have done more in the way of food technology and advancements. They've also they brought in top chefs, like James Beard Award winning chefs, gourmet chefs, I'll say, to try to tweak the way that they cooked the product and make it as the highest quality that it could possibly be with the mandates that the government puts forth. So they brought in chefs to see how well they could execute that recipe, I guess I should say. They done that. They have brought in engineers that were at the top of their game to try to, I guess, streamline the process and make it as efficient, but also keep the quality as high as possible. So Warnick has done things that other companies haven't when it comes to the technology, when it comes to the execution of the actual food that goes into the meal. And that's one thing that I have noticed over the years of eating MREs myself, is that Warnick, whenever I have a Warnick MRE and I have a Sepaco, which honestly I kind of feel like Sepaco might be they might be number 3 on the list. I don't know. Ameriqual kind of suffers sometimes too. Those two are tied, because some things I've had are better from Ameriqual and some things are better from Sepaco. But pretty much universally, if you're a person that eats MREs all the time, Warnick is going to probably be your favorite. I mean, and they should be all almost exactly the same, and they're very similar. But the ones that come out of Warnick typically are better, and I've noticed that they hold up better over time. And, Ameriqual kind of tackled that by double bagging their products. And I do believe that the double bag process extends the life of an MRE. Now, Warnick took a different path and kind of just did a better job at cooking it and their cooking process. But Warnick, like I said, they're in my opinion, they're probably the top quality MRE producer out of the big three. Now, this came from Sour West. I've had this for at least 4 years myself. I don't know how long he had it before. Sour West was a community member, probably still is a community member. I haven't seen him active in quite a while. And he sent me this a long time ago. And it being 2001, that's a significant year. We all know that 9/11 happened 2001. And I think we could all, well, unless you weren't born then, could tell a story. Okay, so this is something I don't like, the peelable seals, because they never open properly. Well, not never, but a lot of times. Get it a real good jerk, sometimes it'll most of the way come apart, but they're sealed very well. But 2001, like I said, I think just about everybody in my chat right now could probably tell you exactly where they were at and what their personal experience was with that day. And I have replayed that day a gazillion times in my own head. And I was in New York right before it happened, and then I went back to New York January of 2002, I believe. Maybe it was a little later than that. I know it was cold. When we were there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's got a pretty solid story about 9/11. Okay, real quick question in the chat right here. Make it a shorter, simplified answer is, where were you on 9/11? What, where were you, and maybe what were you doing? Just depending on, maybe, like, were you at work? Were you in Chicago for a business meeting, or were you baling hay and you didn't hear anything about it until you got home later that day? You know, I think it'd be interesting to know. Hey, I'm into pain. What's up? You were at work that day. Well, let's find out what is in this particular 2001. I'm looking. Miss Marilyn says you were at home asleep. I'll tell you guys real quick where I was at. I was in Columbus, Ohio. I was building the Polaris Mall. It's called a fashion place, Polaris Fashion Place, which it's just a mall. I don't know what differentiates between a fashion place and a mall. I think it's something to do with there being an inside and an outside part to it. You got to walk outside to get to certain parts of it. I don't know, something like that. But when we finished that place, it was the fastest fashion place ever built in the world, supposedly. And I heard things that it was in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the fastest fashion place ever built. I never checked into that. But that day I was at work, and we started hearing things because everybody's got radios on. I was working as an electrician, and everybody had the radios on, just doing construction work. Pretty light. I mean, I would call it light industrial somewhat, because it's definitely not, light. Heavy commercial, light industrial, somewhat kind of in between. It was pretty heavy job site. But everybody was hearing it on the radio. I didn't have a radio on, but I heard everybody start talking about it. I went out to the parking lot, got in my car, took my buddy with me at the time. My best friend was staying with me. Me and him just both left the job site. Didn't tell the boss, didn't do nothing. We were under attack. We were like, dude, we got to go find out what's going on. I did have a cell phone at the time, it seems like, but it wasn't, obviously no internet or anything like that. Drove back to the hotel, turned the TV on, and I'm pretty sure we saw the second plane hit when we were watching the television. Like, obviously there was some sort of a delay there, most likely. I don't think anybody was playing it fully live. Maybe they were. But that's what happened. I could tell you exactly where I was sitting, I do believe, because, I mean, we were back at the hotel probably 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes after we heard about the first one hitting. But, yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about that day. But, so yeah, I knew that. Ham and shrimp jambalaya. Shrimp is in the military grade jambalaya with natural juices and smoke flavoring added. Natural smoke flavor added or fake smoke? Obviously fake smoke. Look at that ingredients list. Yay. Cooked ham, natural juices, ham cured with water, salt, sugar, sodium phosphate, sodium, cooked shrimp. That kind of, anybody who is attempting to eat 20-year-old seafood should be a little bit fearful, even if it's in a retort pouch. Sodium is 950 milligrams, 40% of your daily value in this meal. Awesome. So there's our main meal, jambalaya. What else coming up? There's our flameless ration heater, which is the newer type. This feels very different. I mean, it is. This is like stretchy, almost like stretchy plastic. Interesting. Okay, and if this doesn't work out, I'll pull something else out. Beverage-based powder cherry flavor. Interesting. I thought they had done away with that by 2001. I guess I was wrong. Oh yeah, real quick. Dang it, I can't remember if it's just cosplay or what. But Black Dog Bob sent me a text and let me know that there was, he's got some sort of sale going on at Minotaur. Okay, it's just cosplay. If you want to order anything from Minotaur, hang on. If you want to order anything, I got a box sitting here. If you want to order anything from Minotaur, you can go to Minotaur right now and use the discount code cosplay. He's got it all capitalized, so COSPLAY, cosplay, and get 30% off of your entire order. So $3 off of every 10 that you spend, and you won't be able to use your Oldsmokey code OS10 because you're using the cosplay code. But yeah, man, if you guys want to order from Minotaur, right now is a pretty good time to do it. 30% off of everything. There's our accessory packet. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Of course, it's the most boring one, accessory packet A. Accessory packet A, let me just tell y'all real quick, if you don't know much about MREs, if you see an accessory packet A, it's always going to be the most boring one that you could possibly get. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Ooh, what? Hang on a second. Cereal, oats, biscuits, coated. What the frick am I looking at, guys? This I have never seen before. Packed by Transpacker Services Incorporated. Cereal, oats, biscuits, coated. Has anybody else ever seen this before? I don't know what the heck this is. 114th day of 2001. Definitely not near September. I'm definitely doing that tonight. Bus gonna be on a Norm binge for the next... Oh, yeah. Norm MacDonald, by the way, passed away. That must be what you're talking about. Poor Norm. He had cancer. Didn't let anybody, really know about it. So, it sucks, man. Yeah, this is a new one for me, guys. I gotta say, I don't even know what... Okay, I'll just... It feels like crumbs. What are the preparations instructions? What is this? I don't know. I'll take a look at the back of that here in a second. But that is an interesting one, and I don't even know what to do with that. I got a super chat came in from Cyanide Cookies. This says, I was at my parents' house, woke up and getting ready for work early, 9:12 the morning for us. Watching the news when the first plane had hit. Not the second yet. So you were watching the news, and then they said they obviously reported on it because it went through the news system extremely quickly all across the world. So they found out about it over there probably within minutes of it happening, I would say. Although, I will say this, after the first plane hit, they thought that it was an accident. Like, I remember that being reported out the wazoo until the second one hit. They were saying, because I've rewatched a lot of the initial reports and broadcasts, and they were thinking that it was an accidental collision with the building. But thank you so much for that super chat, Mr. Dan, or Cyanide Cookies, and daggone, man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I enjoy hearing about other people's that day, and because everybody's got that story from that day that they remember, even as mundane as it could possibly be. It doesn't matter, because that day is going to stick out no matter what. It doesn't matter if you were asleep or if you were cooking dinner. It was still 9/11 for you, and but yeah, everybody pretty much found out about it that day. Okay, here's another interesting looking item. What is this? I thought that's what this was. You gotta be kidding me. Holy cow. In 2001, they were still putting chocolate covered oat. Oh, man. What a treat. Look at that. Chocolate covered oatmeal cookie. Or oatmeal cookie chocolate flavor coating. Ah. Ingredients. Chocolate flavored confection is the first ingredient listed. So that means that's what's the most in this food item. That, I did not expect to find that in here. What a treat. What else do we have in here? What is this? Oh, man. Wheat snack bread? Okay. Well, I could have went without finding that. Much rather had crackers. And here's our partially biodegradable MRE spoon. And we have one more item in here, which is cheese spread. Yay. No delamination going on there. What is the date on this bad boy? This is the 130th day. Yep, 130th day of 2001. So we got some standard cheese spread there. There's everything that came in a 2001 Jumbalaya from the Warnick Company. And I'm still not understanding what the cereal oats biscuits thing is. I don't understand this item. This is one that this should go in a collect. Honestly, this is like a museum item. I feel like items like this that kind of didn't make it. This is an item that did not make it, or we would know about this. We would know more about this, and we would know, we would know what was going on with this. And I do need to look and see if there's any. There's no instructions on how to use this, what this is, like how to prepare it. If there's even preparation to it, obviously there must not be. It feels like, I mean, I hate to even open it up, but you know what? We're going to have to open it up, and I'm just going to have to be careful when I do it. That way I can save the packaging, and we can, we can have this for display if ever need be. But I feel like that's a crazy unique item to find in an MRE. Let's find out. Hang on. I just, Ordo says, in 2001, he was in middle school, science class, went to have your test read, and since I was in special ed, saw the freshman class was watching TV, and they told me, so I ran back to tell my class and got out of the test. That's cool. Yeah, that makes it a little bit better, doesn't it? Kind of softens the blow of what happened that day. And if anybody if you guys have seen the video of George Bush that day, I'm not going to comment on it, but I'm also not going to say anything good about it. Because every time I see that video, it still ticks me off. Let's find out what is in this accessory packet. Like I mentioned earlier, accessory packet A is always going to be your most boring accessory packet that you can possibly get. This is already an extremely interesting MRE because of this item, which like I said, I don't know what this is. It is what it is. I want to see if we got anything that might be dated on 9/11. Nope, 106th day, not even close. It's going to be in April sometime. It's going to be in March. Yeah. 114th day, 130th day. What's our wheat snack bread? 109th day. Yeah, it looks like everything's pretty early. 124th day. Yeah. Yep. All right, so we have our U.S. issued butt ration, or napkin, or if you want to call it toilet paper. Moist towelette for cleaning your hands or your face, or doing a final clean back there. We got a 4-gram package of Domino sugar and a 4-gram pouch of iodized salt, like you need more of that. You really don't need 4 grams of it. Like, in my opinion, they should take 2 grams of the salt out and give us a 1/4 gram of pepper. You know what I mean? Here is a funky looking package of matches. Of course, they're going to be produced by D.D. Bean & Sons, because D.D. Bean & Sons are the only producers of matches for the U.S. military. These are red tip, black stalks. And then, of course, we have the legit infamous, red Taster's Choice. That is most likely, not even most likely. This is definitely no good. It's dry molded. It's stiff. It's trash. And cream substitute dry, non-dairy. We have some yellow chiclet style gum, or maybe I'd call that brownish. It's supposed to be white. And we have a pretty dark thing of Tabasco. Not extremely dark, but pretty dark. 129th day on the Tabasco. Alright, well, let me go get the jambalaya heating up. Kind of like me right now. I bet you my temperature's 101 at least right now. I feel like crap. Maybe I'll get this open. Alright, finally. Ooh, got the nice dark green retort pouch on this. Of course, pretty stiff in there with the rice. Alright, go heat this up and I'll be right back, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I am back now. Let's find out what the cereal oat biscuits. Cereal oat biscuits. What the hell could that be? I don't understand. Something on my tray. It's like blood. Did I cut myself last time I done it? I remember cutting myself at some point. Oh yeah, I did. I cut myself last time, didn't I? I washed my tray too. I don't understand. Maybe I was bleeding after when I put it up. I know I'm going to have to find some different coffee. This much I can tell you. Oh, looks like a G. Schultz might be here. OG, the original gangster of military ration reviews, military MRE reviews. Need to go check out his channel, Sticky Fingers channel, Shocker's channel, Dub C's channel, Trucker's channel, Smitty's channel, all kinds of links. If you're hungry for MRE content, down in my description you'll find a gazillion links. It's all my description is basically links to other people's channels. Check them out. I don't even know what. I have no idea what to do with that. Cheese spread, friggin' wheat snack bread. I guess this is the dessert. At least there's something instead of nothing. Because there could have easily been nothing as a dessert. I've had that happen with MREs before. Alright. Need to find some other coffee. Where could I find some other coffee at? Let me see here. Dub C sent me that really strong coffee that I plan on using when I do a freeze-dried live stream. And I'm probably going to do this yellow curry whenever we do a freeze-dried live stream, because why not? Alright. I think there's some coffee in here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, right there. Boom. Bob sent his this is an extras pack that Bob sent in, and it's actually got coffee in it. Most people drink the coffee, not everybody, but a lot of people drink the coffee. I won't say most, but some. But usually you don't find it in people's extras very often. And I have plenty of extras sitting around. Okay, today I'm going to use this white cup. I'm not going to use my Bob Ross mug. I'm going to use the foreignmre.com mug and tell you guys if you want to find yourself some MREs, some U.S. military MREs, or some First Strike rations. I know they have both. They've got something else in too. Was it Spanish or something? They had something. I can't remember what they were. No, what? They weren't Spanish. What were they? Anyway, go check out foreignmre.com and you'll find out what I'm trying to think of, most likely. Use code OS10 or Oldsmokey 10, and you'll get yourself $10 off of a case of MREs or a case of First Strike rations if you use that code. So I'm not even going to open that Taster's Choice. There's no point in it. Well, I mean, I guess I'll open it and show you guys that there was no point in opening it. Why not? Oh, you know what? Wow. I did forget until right now that Miss Marilyn, I don't want to give away Miss Marilyn's address, but Ann and Allen Baking Company. You guys, Google it. Google it. Google it. And it's almost time for the holidays. If you don't know what to get, you know those people that you don't know what the heck to get them? Right there. Go to Ann and Allen. Cruise the website. You can either get them a kit to make their own gooey butter cake, or you can actually have them gooey butter cakes shipped to their house. And I think they last, what, 60 days in the freezer, Miss Marilyn? Something like that. It's a good while. Like, you could get them right now and they'd be good, I think, still at Thanksgiving time. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. That might be pushing the limit on their suggested amount of time. But if you guys want to know the truth, she sent me one, it's been a few years ago, something like that. And mine went past the 60 days in the freezer. Or whatever the recommended amount of time was, and it was fine whenever I took it out of my freezer and ate it. So, but yeah, Miss Marilyn sent me a box back here that I should have started with, and I didn't, and now I feel bad, and I feel like I shouldn't open it until next week because I didn't start with it. I'll let Miss Marilyn make that call, though. G. Schultz says, great suggestion, great cakes. I don't think anybody would be ticked off at me after taking my suggestion and ordering one of those cakes, either the kit or the cake, and trying it afterwards. They would not be mad at me one bit for giving it a shot. So I think anybody that goes down that road, which, like I said, if you got that person that's really hard to buy for, how many people do you know that don't like dessert? Maybe 1 in 10. Like, they're out there. There are people that don't like desserts, but there are a whole lot more people that do like desserts. And I will say that the gooey butter cakes are amazing. All right. But yeah, I didn't want to misspeak on the freezer time on that. On behalf of Miss Marilyn, I've let her put that amount of time down. But like I said, I mean, I probably had mine in the freezer for, I'm going to say probably at least 100 days, maybe 120 days, something like that, before I got to it. And it was just like the one that I ate after 20 days. Took out of the freezer. Ooh, that's a sharp one. G. Schultz, since you are in the chat right now, what is this? What is this? Any idea what this is? What am I supposed to do with this? Am I supposed to add this to the jambalaya to add a crunch to it? I don't know. I don't understand this food item. It is what's occasionally for breakfast, Smitty? Let me go back and look. I mean, gooey butter cake could work for breakfast. That's for sure. Oh, Ruler Yak's here. What's up, man? Mr. Ration Museum is here. Looks like Quaker Oat Squares. Well, there ain't not one, like, chunk of anything in there. Like, it's all... I don't even know how to describe what this feels like. It just feels like crushed up. I don't know, man. But it calls it cereal. Oats. And then biscuits. Okay, so maybe it was supposed to be crackers. Of some kind. I don't know. Such a weird one. I was saying, yeah, I've never seen this before. I've never heard about this before. And also, in a 2001, look at the cookie I got in this thing. I was amazed to have found that. But G. Schultz has never seen this before. I mean, this is a pretty unique item. So, somebody who wants to do a proper review, not a live stream, try to find a 2001 Warnick Jumbalaya and give us a proper review with that in it. Let me go. I probably should grab that jambalaya. You think it's been in there? It's been in there long enough. Let me go grab the jambalaya. I'll be right back. I don't want it to overcook. Alright. This thing puffed up really, really big. Maybe started delaminating. Yep, oh yeah. Yep, started delaminating a bit. Huh. Well, that sucks. It's extremely hot. I'm going to set it off to the side here for the time being, and we're going to make... yeah, this cup will fit the cherry quite nicely. This bright red cherry drink. Yeah, this does... I mean, I don't know what I don't know what to tell you that feels like. It feels like a bunch of crushed up crackers, I guess you could say. And that's probably what it is. It's probably something pretty underwhelming as far as the actual food itself. But to find a new, never before seen, even by the original gangster of ration reviews that's still around, G. Schultz, to stump him on an item, it's got to be something pretty daggone rare. And rare in MREs is not always a good thing. That means it wasn't around for very long, and it means, you know what I mean? Not exactly a good thing. So this is a bit chunked up. I'm going to eat one of those chunks. No, yeah, why not? I'm going to take that biggest chunk and eat it. Oh, maybe I'm not, because I can't. Nope, can't pick it up. So I'm going to dump some of those chunks back in there. Alright. I love eating the drink mixes dry, because it's just like candy. They're so sweet and delightful, really. It's if you had a sweet tooth and you were really craving something candy-wise out in the field, and it's not one of those stupid sugar-free drink mixes that are the little skinny tubes. Take your drink mix and eat it, because you won't be disappointed. I know not very many guys that are in the military watch reviews of military rations, but that's one thing that I would suggest to them to try. All right, let's give this thing its roughly recommended amount of water. A little more than that. Go there. And the one thing I don't like about this cherry drink mix is the extreme amount of red dye. Yeah, look at, I mean, it's almost neon. It even comes across on camera as being almost neon. It's so bright red. It really unnecessarily so. I mean, that's kind of where I come from on that. It's like, tame down the artificial dyes. Canada has always done a decent job, and most other countries do so much better than us. I don't know why they bombard Americans with so many chemicals, but they do. Ooh, it's pretty tough packaging. Wow. My knife is sharp. Yep, okay. So this is the older school square, not really a square, rectangle, almost a square wheat snack bread. This one looks pretty good. A little bit shiny, but of course the packaging causes that. Oh, yeah, it's got that funky smell that that only old wheat snack bread has. A little sour. I was trying to think what else this smell reminds me of. It just reminds me of soured food. You know, when food sours, when it goes bad, that's kind of what that smells like. Although, it probably didn't smell a whole lot different when it was fresh. But I can promise you it did smell different when it was fresh. So I feel quite lucky to have gotten the oatmeal cookie, chocolate covered, tonight. This is actually a pretty interesting meal. It's got cool items in it, especially since we found one that I don't think anybody's ever seen. Give this a really good knead. And I guess I'm expected to eat the cheese spread on that stupid wheat snack bread back there. I've just never been a fan of the wheat snack bread. Some people are, some people aren't. Just depends on your personal preference and your palate. They want the strong dead off-world Adam. They want the strong dead off-world Adam says, you might not be wrong about that. Might be the strong, but we're stupid for letting them do this to us and eat all these chemicals. I've got to get the chemicals cut out of my diet. I want to go to a much fresher, non-contaminated, because when you get a chemical in something that's an outside chemical, which is what they do to food, they add outside chemicals, preservatives, which are chemicals. What do you consider that whenever you get a chemical in your water or something that's not, it's not naturally in there? It's considered contaminated. It blows my mind that we've just accepted this as the norm. But it's also the simple fact that if we didn't do these things, obviously you couldn't eat something like this after 20 years. You couldn't even take a chance of tasting something like this, really. Not much more tasting than, which there'd be no point without the preservatives, because it would have been trash 20 years ago. You know, it's made it possible to eat food that can be shipped all over the world, where without the preservatives and whatnot, it would be impossible. And canning. Really wanted to keep that as perfect looking as possible. Anywhere it wasn't touching the packaging, look at that side. Oh yeah, that is a beautiful sight. A sight for sore eyes right there. I'm gonna smell the package. Okay, doesn't smell like as much as I wanted it to. That smells even better than some of the older ones. Like the first generation round ones, if you get good ones of those, oh, they're so good. The cookies are better. The chocolate was better. And the mid-era ones weren't bad, but they added too much wax to the chocolate, I feel like. Alright, here we go with the... I'm going to try to preserve this packaging the best I can, which might require a pair of scissors. I don't know. Let me just use my knife here on the corner to get it started. There we go. Huh. You were right. Rule React was correct. It's like Chex Mix. Or, well, just Chex, not Mix. Just Chex. But it's biscuits. Like a Triscuit. Yeah. Huh. What am I supposed to do with this? I don't get it. I'm not even going to dump all of it. I'm going to dump some of it out because it's kind of a mess. I mean, I don't know. I got to try this. I wonder how this is held up. I've got to go straight for it. It smells sweet. It also smells green, if that makes any sense. It's got like a, almost like a green smell to it, like a fresh cut grass smell to it. Weird. Very weird. Well, here we go. My mouth is watering, so it doesn't smell bad. Down the hatch. Those are sweet. Definitely sugar-coated. Well, that's actually pretty good, believe it or not. Yeah, anticlimactic. I kind of figured that was going to be the case, but still. Definitely cool to see. Those have survived 20 years. Slightly stale. I think the flavor might be slightly off too. Like the fundamental flavor here. If you get a close look at it there. I don't know. It kind of looks like it's probably changed its appearance a little bit. Not sure, but you can see that sugar on there. That's for sure. It's standing on one leg right now. That's why I was so shaky. Whew. Anyway. Time to look at some jambalaya. 20-year-old jambalaya. Like I was saying, without the chemicals, this would not be remotely possible to even try something like this. But it definitely did start delaminating. That's what I thought. It's interesting. If you can get this layer to peel sometimes, it's clear behind there and you can just see right into it. Nope, it's not going to peel. It's cool when it does, though, because it looks like those old stock photos that Natick would do, and it'd like be missing this outside layer and you could see inside it. But you know, Warnick didn't start till 1979. The reason it started, in my opinion, was just that they'll claim different, but Warnick started because they got the contract for MREs. There were contracts out there, and they took advantage of it. So there we go. Oh, whoa. I can already tell you this is not going to be any good. That smells bad. That smells really bad, actually. It smells almost like a fart. like a food fart. Oh, God. There we go. I'm not yet. I'm going to worry about getting that last little bit out of there. So it looks like there's a lot of tomato in this, so this would be considered a red jambalaya. You can see those chunks of ham in there. Steam rolling off of it. Oh, yeah. There's definitely a strong odor of... Oh, it's almost noxious. Whew. I don't know, man. Like, very rarely will I not even try something, but I'm really thinking, I might not even try this one. Huh. I'm highly disappointed already. I want to try a little piece of this ham. Oh, that's a shrimp? What the hell is that? What is that? What is that? I don't even know what that is. That is weird. Because that's not a piece of rice right there. It's like, that's hard. I do not know what that is. I don't know what the heck that is. That's some sort of shrimp. Maybe. That's a shrimp. That's one ugly shrimp. Very ugly shrimp, if that's what that is. Anyway, back over to this little tiny piece of ham that I'm going to try, I guess. I'm scared of this one. This one actually, I think could hurt me. Yeah, if that's the shrimp did not hold up. That's for sure. I'm going to dig around in here and see if I can find any other things that look like that. Anyway, let me try this real quick. Yeah, okay. So that bitter, numb mouthfeel from ham. I can't eat this. Nope. I'll dig around in here a little bit and see what we see. That is not a shrimp, I don't think. Oh, wait, there's something looking like it. Kind of. What the hell is that? I almost want to eat it just to find out what it is. I can't eat this. I can't. I can't risk it. Oh, my Lord. There's a burning sensation now on the back of my tongue, on the side that I chewed on. The smell is just... I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but it's strong enough that it's bothering me. I'm not seeing the shrimp, unless those red things are the shrimp. Which there's really none of in here. I mean, see, like a little tiny piece. I thought that was tomato, though. I don't know. I don't see the shrimp. But I'm done looking for them. Go back and, I guess go back and look through the video if you want to find a shrimp in here. But I'm not seeing them at all. Nope. Just bigger chunks of rice and chunks of ham and whatever that is. Whatever that thing is. Almost looks like it's... I don't even want to say it. Anyway. Yep, I'm not even using that spoon anymore. I am done with that. Let me rinse that out of my mouth real quick. Stop said it looks like prison casserole. I'll bet your prison casserole looks and tastes a lot better than that. Well, it might not look a lot better than that, but it will definitely taste better than that. That, I can guarantee you. Because that back there, it's turned into poison. It's literally something that would, if you tried to eat as much as you could eat, let's just say that, as much as you could force yourself to eat of that, you would either end up in the hospital or at home wishing you were dead. Apocalypse, you can't go to the hospital, whatever, you tried to eat that, you poor soul, you're going to suffer so badly. I feel like, I don't know, I don't know what that could have going on in it. Maybe salmonella. Yeah, nice coat of red dye, no freaking doubt, right? No doubt. Look at that. Is that in the drink? What in the hell? Huh. It's like so much dye in it, it looks oily. Let's see if the cheese spread held up. That'd give us a good idea what kind of storage conditions this thing was under. Come to realize I'm a pretty good judge of character on the cheese spread. How this thing was stored. Let me give the wheat snack bread a try. It's kind of airy, which is not usually how it is. Give it a try. So it tastes old. Has that standardized old taste that anything old and dry has, which is where you get your grandma's basement, your library books, your bottom of a leather shoe, or the side of a leather shoe, those types of flavors. And then there's also sour added in there and bitter. Both of those things I'm reading, but I'm still going to try. Oh, nice. This disgusting cheese spread, which is probably going to be edible, but doesn't look the greatest. It's almost the same color and texture, appearance, texture-wise, as the wheat snack bread. That's not supposed to be the case, but anyway, here we go. The cheese spread was an improvement on that. The cheese spread's very strong. It did coat my mouth, though, in this, greasy, thick coating. And I, myself, hate that. Like, sometimes you'll get a donut. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed. I'll tell you one thing that does it is the Dunkin' sticks, the donut sticks. If I eat one of those, it coats my mouth like this, and I hate that. And I won't eat those things anymore because of that. I gotta wash that out of my mouth. Hopefully it'll uncoat it with this coffee. Coffee can cure a lot of the things going on inside your mouth. Pretty good palate cleanser. I didn't pay attention if this was a type 2 or 3. It seems like it might have been spray dried. So I think it was a type 3. Or no, type 2 spray dried. There's nothing to use the Tabasco on. I was kind of looking forward to that one because it's pretty dark in comparison. It's a little bit darker than others. It's not so readable on camera, but trust me when I tell you that this one is darker in person. By a shade, I would say. Maybe a shade and a half. Not quite 2 shades darker. Alright, one more item of this left to try. And this one smelled so good, so there we go. A nice cross section on that bad boy. This is famous in its own way. Obviously, Steve made it quite so, being one of his favorite items. But this item holds up so well throughout time. I've never had one that I couldn't eat. I've never had a chocolate covered oatmeal cookie that wasn't edible. I've had some that weren't as good as others, but I've never had one that I couldn't eat. So lots of chocolate on there. Very, very crunchy cookie. Doesn't even soften up as you chew it, which is kind of weird. Because a cookie, you know, as it gets moist in your mouth, should, in theory, soften up. That's not what's happening with this one. This is not the best I've had, by far. This is during the era of too much wax in the chocolate, for sure. Not horrible, not great. The chocolate itself is really, I mean, it's not bad at all. This tastes the same today, I'll bet, as it tasted 20 years ago. It's just overly waxy, and I think the cookie's overly crunchy, to be honest. I feel like they didn't put a whole lot of effort into making this a decent oatmeal cookie. They just made an oatmeal cookie and slapped some really waxy chocolate on it, called it a chocolate-covered oatmeal cookie. They could have done better. They did do better. They had done better. So it doesn't really melt on your fingers. But when you do melt it, it's like it even feels really waxy. Huh. Well, I don't have anything to eat. I'm a little bit bothered by that. What can I do here? Miss Marilyn, do you want me to open this box right now, or do you want me to wait until next week? Because I will do either. Totally up to you. And I'm going to grab some other food real quick too. I'll grab this British ration and see what I got left over in it. I don't remember. Way more waxy than those donuts from Hostess. Yeah, that coating, that chocolate coating from Hostess on those donuts is waxy. But this is probably, I'm going to say 3 to 4 times more waxy than that. This is one of the waxiest ones I've had. Okay, Miss Marilyn says to open it. Okay. Well, a huge thanks to Miss Marilyn for sending a box to open, which, like I said, I usually try to do that at the very beginning. I want to show my gratitude to you guys that do take the time and money and effort to send something in. As much gratitude as I can possibly show across the camera, I guess. But thank you so much, Miss Marilyn, for sending a box, and let's find out what's in here together. I hope anybody who's watched this earlier, whenever I talked about this box, and now, definitely go to AnnandAllen.com and check out the website. See if there's anything on there that you'd be willing to try. And give it a try. I would suggest giving it a try. Really nice boxes, too, by the way. I assume you probably ship some coffee. They also sell coffee. I bet these boxes get used for... oh, and the cake mixes. Probably fit in here quite nicely. 2 or 3 of them, something like that. All right, that's very well packaged in a lot of bubble wrap here. And we have Oh, yeah. Well, I recognize that quite quickly. I think I might just be able to slide it out the bottom here. Look at that. This is the little keg of canned camels right here. I think I had the bigger can, or maybe I didn't. Maybe mine's the same. I used to have a can of those that I smoked them all on live streams. Mine's right here, though. What the heck did I put in here? Nothing. It's just that liner. Yep. 60. So I guess my can... Wait. This is 40. It's the same size can. How weird is that? Never would have guessed that. Look at that. Huh. I thought that the 60 can was going to be a lot bigger than the 40 can. And boy, was I wrong. Well, interesting. Miss Marilyn, thank you for sending that can in. That is so freaking awesome. It's been a long time since I had one of these. And what I recall about these is the longer they were open. So I opened these on a live stream, and I smoked them one. Sometimes I would smoke two in a live stream. Very rarely, though. I smoked them one and sometimes two at a time, once a week. And went through this entire can. Probably over a span of, I'm going to say, 45 to 50 weeks. Smoked all these. Although I did, I think I might have given some away at the giveaway. So that might have taken away from a couple of the weeks of live streams. But what I remember so much about these was how much better they got with time. Sounds kind of weird. Sounds kind of strange. Because it is. It's kind of weird. And I look forward to these getting better with time as well. But I want to see what the difference is inside here. Because how weird. Oh, they stuck paperwork in here. Look at that. Instead of filling up every hole, or instead of making a different container for the 40, they just stuck paperwork in here. So tap your keg with a tap lighter. Okay, what's that look like? Oh, cool. That's pretty cool. I'm going to be looking for one. Oh, it's solid brass and refillable. Yep, I'm going to be looking for one of these tonight. Kind of looks like a bowl in there. That's kind of weird. What is that even? Spring. So, oh, that's the gas. That is the button. I guess. That's what it kind of looks like. And then the flame probably comes out over here. Offer restricted display. Ordering. What were they charging you for this thing back then? $4.90. Of course, my live stream kicked off yet again. But I wonder how much they were charging for shipping as well. Must be received by the year, or by the end of the year 1999. Or no, wait. The end of the year 2000. So, wow, how appropriate for these to go with this 2001 produced. These were exact same timing as this meal. Like, literally made around the same time. I'm trying to see if there's a price on the shipping. I don't see one, though. Maybe shipping's taken care of here? Let's see. Quantity 1. To order your lighter, please send the following. Oh, yep. So basically, they're probably giving you the lighter for free and telling you it costs $4.95 for shipping, which it probably didn't back then, and it definitely would now. They'd charge you that. That's cool. I like that little paperwork. I don't know if I had the same paperwork in mine or not. If I did, I don't remember reading it. But if I did, it would also still be in my can. Oh, and They gave you a camel buck in the other side. Some camel cash, a C note. How about that? Very different from the earlier camel caches that came in the packs. This actually kind of looks like money. Whereas they kind of went cheap there towards the end of the camel cache era. Get down. Get down, get down, get down. Thank you. Anyway, super cool. Super cool. Super cool. Alright. Alright, I made a mess of my wall up here taking that camel cache down because it's what was holding everything up. Alright. I don't remember how I had this up here, but there we go. Good enough. Well, I'm going to indulge. I'm going to indulge in one of these right now. Put the little separator back on top. And crazy how that thing... Oh, that's a piece of paper. I don't know. Piece of foam. I don't remember mine having that in it. Smell it. Need to smell it. Smells just like a camel. Camels have a very unique scent versus any other cigarette. Now, this is maybe a personal opinion of mine. I don't know. But camels have this slightly sour scent to them, which, in my opinion, is attributed to the urea that they use when they spray their tobacco with shit that they shouldn't be spraying it with. And urea is one of those things. And I can't believe I just said that accidentally, but I did. Okay. Anyway, but I think that they should not do that, but it gives their tobacco a very unique flavor that has been in camels since I can remember. Oh yeah, by the way, in this can. Okay, so it does have the foam liner thing in it, which I never noticed until just now. And it had that. And of course I always leave one in whatever it is. But nope, does not have the paperwork with it that yours had. Huh. Subtle differences. But as you can see, mine is the same on the insert as the one Miss Marilyn just sent me. 6 little compartments where 10 cigarettes each will fit. And this one looks a lot cleaner than that one that I have left. Which that one that I had left has traveled all over the place, all over the United States and New York, and brought it to the meetup, and yeah, and plus the other can of camels that I have up there, which I have never seen another can of these other camels that I have up here. But let me pack this just a little bit. It does have that slightly caramel scent to it, mixed with everything else, the sourness. Almost like a sour caramel, which most people don't know what that smells like, but unfortunately I do. Are these regular or lights? They're lights. I thought they were. Mine were lights too, I think. Yep, mine were lights as well. So this other can that I have is the old school, like the old school looking, well, I guess really not old school, but always school camel look. Instead of going with something flashy like this, they wanted it to look like a beer keg. Gave it the fake indentions on it right there. Those are just done in the graphics. Whereas this can just looks like the cigarette pack. I think there was 50 in here. I'm almost positive there was 50 in this can. So 50 fit in this can. Look how much smaller it is. It's kind of hard to tell really on the camera, but considerably smaller. And that little separator is pretty interesting. And there's one left in this, as I said. I'll keep one. I don't really know why I do that, but I guess just to keep an example of what was in there. Keep one, and yeah, had that. Whenever I first got it and opened it here on the live stream, this little thing right here was sticking right out of the middle because you couldn't get one out of there without having something like this in there to pull up from the middle, and it pulled you up. You know, you pulled some out of the middle so you could grab one, and grabbed one. And I seen Miss Marilyn turn me over a lucky cigarette already too, which is awesome. That'll probably be the one that I don't smoke, or it'll be the last one that I smoke, and I'll leave one of the downturned ones in there. I always leave one in. I'm a stickler for habit, maybe. Even a lot of the old packs, not all, but a lot of the old packs that I have smoked. I'm talking, I don't know, I've probably got 30 packs here on display and probably another 20 or 30 that aren't on display. They all still have a cigarette left in them. If I ever get desperate, I can go and find one cigarette in each of those packs. Kitty. I kind of want to let the cats smell this jambalaya, because they're an extremely good judge of character when it comes to food. There we go. That's a good spot for that. Come here, kitty. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yes, I know. I'm not going to kick you down this time. I'm not going to kick you out. Come here. Right here. Yep. Go smell the jambalaya. She is eating the jambalaya. Oh, you went... Oh, nope. She spit it out. Oh, she's making bad faces at it. I guess I could show you guys. Here, show them what you done. She picked up that red thing and then spit it out. I'm not going to let you eat much of that because it'll hurt your belly, which your stomach can probably... You guys have different stomach flora. Cats do. But the fact that she's eating it at all, attracted to it at all, I'm going to tell you, I'm quite surprised. So it must not be so bad that it is extremely dangerous, but it's definitely something that... it's one of the worst mains that I've opened in probably... I'm not going to say ever, but it's one of the worst mains that I've ever opened. As far as MRE mains go. Now, one thing I also remember about these that I'm being reminded of right now is the more you smoke it down, it gets much stronger. And these old lights, they're not light. This is like a full flavor. 100% pretty much like a full flavor. Inspection. I can't believe she's eating that. I can't let her eat much of that. I'm seriously kind of scared for it because I'm afraid she's going to get sick, and then I'm going to have to clean it up. Are you going to eat that red thing? That must have been a shrimp. Nope. Did she eat it? All right. Look, that's it. You can't eat that stuff. Yucky. Yucky. Weird cat. We need a new show. Animals eating history. Just go around and find old food and see if animals will eat it. I would watch that. Have the human tell the history and then just put it in a bowl and put it down in front of a cat and say, alright, if it's food, if it's still edible, they'll eat it. Yeah, Robert, I'm afraid that it's possible that she might have actually ate too much. I shouldn't have let her eat, but maybe a bite. She's licking her lips, and her right eye is closing. And she's shaking her head. Huh. She's giving herself a bath now, but her right eye is, like, closing. Closed further than the other one, a lot. Weird. I wonder if it made her mouth numb or something. What happened? Look. Come here and show them your right eye closed. Yeah, well, no. Don't do that. Yeah, see? What did you just do? She could be having, like, numb mouth or something. I don't know. I do actually really like these. I'm not a huge camel fan in general. I like the non-filters. I think only because they're non-filters. But if I was going to smoke one, and see, the full flavors typically are too much when you get into a vintage camel filter. But these have aged just right. The lights turn into full flavors, and they have a lot of flavor notes going on. A lot. There's a lot of cigarette, like, just different cigarette flavors going on. And most people wouldn't think that a cigarette flavor is any good because it's not. It's just something that you come to enjoy if you're a smoker. I do like that cereal item that was in there, though. The little sweet Triscuits. Triscuits are not sweet, are they? Someone tell me in the chat. Are Twiscuits sweet? Triscuits, are they sweet? All right, you're done. Okay, go on. I should have never let her eat out of the bowl because now she's just going to one up here. Good grief, she's coming back for it. I know, right? It's probably the ham. You know, ham can hold up through a lot of abuse, and I still don't see any shrimp in there. And that's what that red thing was, because she did eat it, and I feel like she wouldn't have ate a tomato if that was because it. And if that was a shrimp, that was one horrible looking shrimp. Oh, they're mildly sweet. Okay, James says they're mildly sweet. I don't know that I've ever eaten Triscuits, but that must be exactly what this is. And these are mildly sweet. Grainy flavored, I would call it, multi-grain flavor. Still got a nice crunch to them. No off old flavor or anything like that. Just very, very lightly stale. Lightly. Huh. I must have taped this. I don't remember doing that. I surely did. So, let's see what's in here, because I don't know. But I will tell you that I'm hungry, and that food, I've not had any food. Usually I put a lip on the tape so I can take it back off. Didn't do that this time. Alright. I'm going to put it on there right now. Put a little lip on it. But yeah, Miss Marilyn, I super appreciate the live stream content smokes there. That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, what do I have in here? Ooh, that's a bonus. I forgot that I saved that. You know, I could really go for some oatmeal or muesli, whatever. It's called muesli, but it's pretty much oatmeal. I don't remember putting this in there. Arizona chili with beans. Minotaur. 30% off. Use code COSPLAY. I don't know where I came up with that or why I came up with that, but COSPLAY over at Minotaur and get yourself 30% off an order. Tuna and light mayonnaise. Hot chocolate. Oh, it's mint. Dang it. Mint flavored. I got the Just Fruits, which, you know what? I'm gonna have that muesli with fruit. That's what I'm gonna have. Yeah, meat sticks with rice. You know, this sounds good, and in theory, this should be good. If the British would use some decent meat sticks. The meat sticks that they put in here suck. They're like, I don't even know how to describe them. They're just mushy. Can guess, I don't know, bushels and mixtures of meats that I assume it's different meats that are mixed together. And my experience with this main has not been good. So the meat stick feels, yeah, I mean, not super soft, but soft enough. Got a smooth peanut butter in there that I've already kneaded up, obviously, because it's all like crushed up, and some boiled sweets. And this stupid thing, sesame bar, that I don't want anything to do with. Tell me why. Why does this even exist? Is this something that's popular over in Great Britain? Is it, I mean, in the UK, is this something that people frequent? Because it's not in America. It's just not something that you see. I wouldn't mind trying this Arizona chili, really. That's a lot of food that I don't want to waste right now, because I'm going to have that. I'm going to have the muesli. Screw it. It's not that exciting, but it's filling. It's kind of like having dessert for dinner. Well, that just happened. Shit. Okay. Put a lip on there because I didn't have one on there previously. There we go. Alright. Box sealed back up. Oh, well, I don't have a bowl, so I'm not going to use a bowl. I want to use Bob Ross. Mike Kreischer says, I love mint chocolate. Now, mint chocolate chip ice cream or a mint chocolate bar, not so bad, you know. I mean, I can get with that. I can sample that and like a few bites of it. But as a drink, it just doesn't work. That's my personal opinion, though. You may like it. You know, if people, I guess some people that are really passionate about liking mint and chocolate, like mint chocolate chip ice cream is what comes to mind, then you might really enjoy that. But me, myself, not a huge fan of it. Who puts corn and tuna on pizza? Who puts corn and tuna on? People in the UK? I don't know. I'm just guessing. They probably do. They do some stuff over there. Although they have gotten into the curry market. I think I'm just going to fix about half. This is a pretty large serving. This is a pretty full breakfast for a man right here. And it's got a lot of the milk, obviously, added in there. And this is, what is this? Oh, it's apple and cinnamon? Oh, it's got pumpkin seeds in it. That's what that is. I was like, what is that dark stuff? I was thinking that the apples had turned on me. But it's pumpkin seeds. Now, I do want to turn this over so I get the milk mixed in, because if you do half of it and you don't do what I'm doing right now, you'll end up with the bottom that's got all the milk, and what you eat the first time won't have any of that mixed into it. Like, see, that's got a lot more of the milk powder down in there. I think I actually did maybe just a little bit less than half. But like I said, I mean, it's a pretty large serving. I'm going to go ahead and put some of these just fruits in there as well. Because I like to add fruit into my oatmeal or muesli or whatever. I kind of like the fruit to usually match whatever it is that I'm having. Strawberry or banana or peach. I don't usually put much of anything in there. But I did get some raisin and walnut. I think it was, or raisin and almond before, and added more nuts and more fruit in there, and it was awesome. Those fruits have a little bit of a aged, a little bit of an aged flavor to them. And I guess I'm going to add hot water to this. Let's see what happens. Not going to be bad, I don't think. Spoon, which spoon, which spoon? Just use this one. I don't remember what this came out of, but it was in something that I had recently. Can't remember what it was. Now, one thing I will say about muesli versus oatmeal. Muesli doesn't really soak up the water like oatmeal does. Oatmeal typically fluffs up and kind of absorbs the water. And muesli, not so much. It kind of stays the same size. But you are supposed to let it set for a minute or two, and that's going to take a little more water. Very creamy looking, though. I will say it's got quite a bit of dried milk in there, which is a good thing. And they don't really, I don't think they add any sugar to their muesli in any of the European countries or anything like that. And again, most of the time they have muesli instead of having oatmeal. But we are a sugar-driven and a sugar-based country. That's one of the reasons I think you see more obesity here in America is we're brought up on sugars. We stay adults on sugars. We survive on sugars sometimes. I'm guilty of it myself. I have done plenty of sugar consumption in my life. I should probably just cut it out completely. But it's a hard thing to give up. It's you obviously get addicted to it just like everything else. Not everything, just about most everything else. Alright, I'll give that a minute to set. And if you guys don't mind, hit the thumbs up or down. Either way. Let Google know what you're thinking of this live stream. And while I'm thinking about it, anybody who happens to watch this live stream later or is watching right now, if you happen to have a vintage food item that you would like to part with, you'd like to sell it, you'd like to whatever, donate it, I need to find some substantial, like the mac and cheese was a great live stream. I feel like great history behind Kraft mac and cheese. It was really fun to deliver that information and history. And then to cook up that mac and cheese that was, how old was that? 34 years old? 35 years old? 30, 34, 35, 31, something like that. I can't remember. It was 86 or 87. That's what it was, 86 or 87. So it was 35 years old. And it was really fun. So I need to find some more items, food items, that I could do the same thing with. Because I had a lot of fun putting together that history, and it was fun to deliver it to. And that's a live stream that I might actually rewatch. I don't typically rewatch the live streams anymore. I used to, but just to reread down through the chat that I miss, because most of the time I can't even look down at the chat. I've got other things going on here on the table, so it's not impossible, but it's really hard to pay attention to both. Avoid the Splendas. Yeah, no doubt. Splendas are horrible for you. Aspartame, not good for you. Sugar, 100% raw sugar it's not inherently bad. It's just overconsumption of it. You know what I mean? This is going to be extremely hot, I feel like. It's going to maybe overly so. But that's a pretty good looking bite of muesli. Let's find out how good it is. So the dry milk is definitely showing its age. That's for sure. It's not. It doesn't taste bad yet. I mean, it's got a different taste to it than what it should. The pumpkin seeds add a nice crunch. I do like to have a nut like this crunch in my muesli or oatmeal. It doesn't taste like apple though. Even without the fruits that... Let's see. Nope. It doesn't taste like apple, for sure. And the other fruits right there, some chunks of apple that have rehydrated. And I think they were just dehydrated, not freeze-dried. Chunks of apple. Yeah, because they still haven't rehydrated properly. If they were freeze-dried, they'd come right back to life. They'd be really soft. Those have a crunch to them. A rubbery crunch, though. Not like a crisp crunch. And the only sweetness you're getting is from the fruit. There's like no sugar added to this whatsoever. And I kind of wish there was. So I got this little tiny pack of Domino sugar here that's hard as a rock. Not using that. Oh, cool. I don't know where I got this from. A restaurant, I think. Might have came from Chipotle. I don't know. Cannot remember. But comes in handy at times like this. Oh, it's that all natural, like brown sugar. I mean, it's not brown sugar, but it's brown in color. And I'll just put it all in there. Mix it in. It's not that much. It's probably a 2-gram pouch, if that. That's probably what it is, 2 grams. Not 4 grams like the military gives you. They also give you that 4 grams of salt like you need it. Those guys in the field, there's no way they use that salt. I mean, there's a few dishes that I would add a little bit of that salt to, but not 4 grams of it. Could you imagine adding all that 4 grams of salt to one dish? I mean, yuck. That would be inedible. I feel like. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Alright, a little sugar added. Raw sugar, yeah, that's what I think that's what I said earlier. Or was raw. Raw sugar is not bad for you. Which, I mean, they just bleach it to make it white. Which I don't really know what the purpose of that is. And I should. Yeah, but yeah. Like a brown stained glass color. About that color. If it was clear and made into translucent glass. The sugar made more flavor come out of this. It's weird how that happens. Small things like that can enhance the flavor. I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin seeds either. I've tried to eat them. I've bought them in different forms, that they come in. And I've never been a fan of them. I just can't wrap my head around these things being good. They're edible in here. Can't really taste them as much as they're just an added texture. Yeah, I don't. Can't really pick up any distinct flavor coming from them. Pretty dull when in the flavor department. I want to try something. Mix the old with the new here. A little bit of that cereal added in there. Well, that's outstanding. That's really good. I mean, I kind of had an idea it would be, but... Oh, yeah. 20-year-old cereal, why not? I'm not going to mix it in because then it'll get... I assume it'll get soggy. I could be wrong. It might not. It seems like the type of cereal that would get soggy fairly quickly, though. But it does add a really nice light sweetness and crunch to it. And the fruit's just, you know, outstanding. I love fruit. They had watermelons on clearance at Walmart for $1 each. And I bought 6 of them. I've only managed to eat one so far, though. It took me 3 days to eat one. Turbinado sugar? Turbinado sugar? What's that? I like to learn about any food facts or food items that I can. Pumpkin seeds are good on cookies. Huh. I mean, I can definitely see them adding a texture to the bite. But again, like, every time I've ever ate pumpkin seeds, it's just like there's not really any distinct flavor there. They surely don't taste like pumpkins. Oh, what now? Oh, the brand of sugar. Maybe. That's what you might be saying. Let me grab that package. Maybe I can still grab it. Yeah. Maui brand. Natural turbinado. Natural turbinado cane sugar. So it's not just natural cane sugar. It's... Focus. Turbinado. Turbinado? I don't know what that means. I'm going to have to look that up. What's the difference between white sugar and natural turbinado cane sugar? So, white sugar has all of the molasses removed. How do they remove molasses from sugar, you ask? I don't freaking know. They probably dissolve it and then separate it, the dark from the light, and then dry it back out. Then it goes through more, even further refining to remove traces of color. Only the molasses surface of the turbinado sugar crystal is removed. This generally leaves less than 3.5% molasses by weight. Huh. So it's sugar with some molasses in it. It does taste a little bit different. Well, probably a lot different on a large scale, but I just tried a little bit in my hand, so couldn't tell you on a, you know, on a bulk scale, like if you were to cook with it or make something with it. I do feel like the difference in them would affect the flavor. because I'm definitely a white sugar kind of guy. There we go. I'm going to try this a little bigger bite as soon as I can clean my palate out here and see what different flavor notes, if any, that I pick up. The last H&H Automat was in Philly. I wish they would bring automats back in big cities, because that's really the only place that they'd work. Basically a big live action vending machine with real people behind the vending slots. And also you can get made to order stuff that you want, but a lot of it's pre-made and in the slots, and that's why you gotta have a big city, because the food has to turn over quickly or it goes bad or it sits there too long. But with today's technology and heat lamps and whatnot, it should be possible. So the first thing that I'll say is that it's kind of like eating Pop Rocks, that sugar. It doesn't dissolve quickly at all. And it does have a slight bitterness to it. It doesn't really taste like molasses or anything. But I'm picking up a little bit of a bitterness to it. A sweet, but also like a tiny bitter follow-up to it. Huh. I didn't try enough the first time, I guess. Interesting. Yeah, the automats, though. There's some really cool documentaries that have automats, and there's automats in old movies and stuff that I guess I never really paid attention to until after I learned more about automats. And what a cool and interesting concept. And today, with Americans' fascination with vending machines, a place this would really work well is Japan. Japan is absolutely fascinated with vending machines, and I feel like an automat style or an automat restaurant in Japan would knock it out of the park. I don't know how much money it would cost to try that idea, but I think it would be a huge success if you could open up an automat in like Tokyo or something. I feel like that would be a way that you could get rich pretty quick and be pretty infamous over there, or famous over there, because that is a great idea. And I feel like they do well here too. But you have to have, everybody wants everything individualized. I mean, even you go to McDonald's, you say, oh, I don't want, pickle or onion on my burger. So you don't get pickle or onion on your burger. You go to an automat, it's already pre-made and sitting in the slot. You just have to eat what is on the plate. Which worked back in the day. They used as a standard price per door, like $5 down this way. It wasn't that much, I don't even think. It might have been towards the end. $5 for these slots, and then there was like sandwiches, pre-made sandwiches that were in slots. Really cool. Oh yeah, Strictly Dumpling. Whenever I was hanging out with Adam Richmond there, I guess it's been over a month ago. What? 2 months ago. 4th of July weekend. I brought up a video that Strictly Dumplings made about a Korean hot pot in New York City, because I watched that video I can't remember when I watched it. Maybe when it first came out. And I wanted to go to that Korean hot pot place because it looked very interesting, and it's a really cool concept how you eat a hot pot. And I took Matt, the showrunner, which is like director slash producer of Eating History, took him, took Josh and Emily, his now wife, to that Korean hot pot place, and it's an experience that none of us will ever forget. It was very interesting, and I really enjoyed that. But we screwed up when we went, and we ordered the hot and like the mild, and I'm here to like I could barely handle the mild. It was so freaking hot, and the hot, forget about it. It was just, I mean, I we would cook a couple things like a piece of meat in it, but it absorbs so much of that broth, and it was so spicy. It was so hard to eat that it cost us time, and that's why I steered clear of it, because you paid by the 15 minutes. They would bring you as much food as you wanted in the amount of time that you. I think the lowest you could go was 30 minutes though. But they'd bring you as much meat as you wanted, vegetables like mushrooms, and you throw it in these hot pot, these pots of boiling broth, and it would cook up really quickly, and then take it out and you'd eat it while it's steaming hot. You just took it out, cooked it yourself. They'd bring you plates of raw meat and like pork and little slivers of steak, and just it was awesome, really awesome. See, I would have loved to have been able to film stuff like that. I just didn't feel like it was appropriate. A lot of low flying planes, huh? Bus stop. I asked you last week where you're at. You never did tell me. Are you in Philly? Seems like you might have said something about that before. What dude's had his taste buds? Oh, Mikey, which is the Strictly Dumplings guy. Yeah, Adam spoke pretty highly of him. Say he's a good dude. Oh, Midwest. Huh. I just seen what's going on in Texas, and holy cow. I won't comment much on here because that's not what this channel's about, and I don't want to get political at all because that's definitely not what this channel is about. Oh, I thought you were in Philly there for a while. I don't remember when we talked about it, but I thought you were in Philly there for a minute. Yeah, the that stuff going on in Texas right now is interesting. Another thing that's interesting is how many crazy uh, I would call them world events and like events negative that have happened in just the past 3-4 months. It's crazy how much stuff has happened to the negative side. Like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it because that's not what this is about, and that's not what I should be doing. And I don't want to push my view on anybody else. Maybe one of these days I'll start another channel where I can speak openly, about things. But the way YouTube is now, you can't do it. You cannot come on YouTube and have your freedom of speech. You just can't have it. They won't allow it unless you're talking about. Yeah, never mind. Unless you're like part of the LBGTQ uprising, I guess, or maybe part of Antifa, they'd let you say whatever you wanted. But if you're not going down that side, down that lane, then you're not welcome here on YouTube. If you haven't seen what's wait a minute. I don't know what you were. What should you check it out? Check out what? Get out there and eat Iowa. Anybody that wouldn't agree with anything that because I've been very lenient on things that I've said right now, I would have to say that I could not hold a conversation with them, that they would most likely have very little to no common sense, and that's really what we're lacking. Common sense is highly not common anymore. It's rare. It's rare. It seems like. Oh yeah, yeah. My live stream's probably going to get banned in like 5 seconds. You're not kidding. I've said too much. I'm towing the line between good and evil. See you later, Sean. I'm getting ready to sign out myself here within the next 3 minutes. Well, this was kind of interesting, though. I mean, I must say, Warnick, like I said, they make some pretty high-quality food items. I feel like they have put more time, effort, energy, and money into the food technology and advancements and such, that their food items do turn out to be better in most cases. Of course, you can't judge anything on a 20-year-old meal. You just can't. Because I don't know what this thing has gone through in the past 20 years. I know Sour West sent it to me probably about 4 years ago, and that's all I know. I know I've had it for about 4 years, and I know he had it for an undetermined amount of time. I have no idea how long he had it. I don't think he had it very long. I think he got those cases off of MRE info. So, might be able to track and find out who had them before him, and kind of get a little bit of the backstory on it. But I doubt it. Why a perfect dork says why I love MREs is because of the food tech that goes into it. That is a huge part. A lot of people see an MRE, and obviously it's a novelty because of it's a sealed bag. Of course, you see what the main meal is on the outside, is printed on the outside. But it's like a Christmas gift. You don't know what's going to be in there, typically. I've eaten enough that I've got an idea what's in some of them. Even if they're changing it up often enough to keep you surprised, and that's a good thing. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because that adds a lot to the lore behind it. But people who really get into it and really understand the changes that military food in general, not just MREs, but the advancements in food technology because, ow, God, I got a cramp. Because of the military, has allowed humankind to advance into the technology age, the technological age that we're in now. Our brains have grown in size since our food delivery has advanced so much. A lot of people don't even think about that, realize that, why would they? Why would they think about that? It's something that's taken for granted, but it's also something that's highly important, and most people don't, like I said, they don't understand, they don't think about it, they're never going to think about it. Like I said, why would they? Unless they run across someone like me talking about it, or to put it in layman's terms for them that they'd understand in a very quick format, to make them understand how much food technology and advancements, just because of the military, has changed our way of life in general. Instead of everybody having to farm, now people don't have to focus on farming. We focus on all these other things, which allowed all this technology to advance. Because before the food technology became, before we could keep food for such long periods of time, whenever your food went bad in 2 to 3 days, and you had to either farm it or trade for it, or go to your general store and buy it, and it went bad in 2 to 3 days. If you were lucky enough to even have something last that long, which there are some fruits and things like that that'll last longer. But your main perishables, they're not going to last long. And back then, you know, you either had to farm it yourself or trade it from a neighbor or something like that. You couldn't focus on what what bathroom you were going to use that day, or if you wanted to call you wanted to be non-binary. Like these are problems that are created from having way too much time on our hands. But like I said, it's allowed us to advance in so many other positive ways and negative. I think it's 50-50, honestly, positive and negative. But hopefully, ultimately, it'll be all positive. Yeah, first world problems. Yeah, I mean, even poor nations, they have similar issues going. Not like we have exactly, but first world problems. You're right. Like the higher crap. That's just crap. Stupid. There's no reason we should even be talking about the stuff. The things that are made into issues that are non-issues. That's the type of stuff that needs to go away. It makes no sense. And they're creating policies around it, and they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff that makes no sense to me. But I'm not. I'm not an entire country. I'm just one guy. That's all I am. And I don't know. I don't expect anybody to do everything that I do or understand everything that I do. So I don't expect to understand or do everything someone else does. All right. Well, I think I've ran out of things to eat and talk about. Actually, I didn't run out of things to talk about. I could talk about this stuff for a while, but I won't bore you, and I won't invade on your non-political minds, because that's not what this is about, like I said. But I do want to say a huge thanks to Miss Marilyn, and also want to say a huge thanks to anybody who donated to the GoFundMe last week. I also want to say a huge thanks to Mr. Dan over in Australia, who sent along a super chat today. It was easy to remember. Uh, Gotta love your engineers. They blow stuff up for you. Yeah, no doubt. Adam says, thanks, Smoke. You rock. See you next stream. Well, thank you, sir. I really do hope to try to get some videos done. I have not felt worth a darn, though, so I'm not even going to go down that road. I already talked. No sympathy, though, not because there's people got crazy stuff going on right now that's awful. Awful stuff to deal with. Um, Appreciate you coming, Pete. And Perfect Dork, appreciate you, man. Or woman. Either way, I don't know. Fordman, appreciate you coming. Miss Marilyn, of course, it's a pleasure as always. Adam, thanks for coming. Robert, Bob, thank you so much, sir, for the coffee. By the way, coffee came from you tonight. Bus stop, thanks for coming. I think that's just about everybody chatting right now. James, thanks for coming. Sparrow 9612, thanks for coming. And Bourbon Street Nola, thank you for coming. Rural Yak took off. And G Schultz, thanks for coming. Everybody, thank you guys for hanging out. Of course, I got to say a huge thanks to my patrons that stick around over there and help the channel out. I literally just saved that money up for one of these days. I'm going to find something awesome that's not extremely overpriced. I was going to buy a, what was it? It was a K ration. That's what it was. I was going to buy a K ration. It ended up going for like $430. I can't do it. I cannot eat, even though it's donated money for the channel. I cannot allocate, because I feel like it's poorly allocated. If I'd done that, it would be the wrong purchase to make at $430. That was without shipping. I think it was 460 or 470. The shipping was outrageous too. But you know, whatever. I I would have probably went for it for 300 or less. But and still that's overpaying. But again, I will find something cool. I promise. It will happen. And any big purchase like that, that's where it's going to come from is Patreon. So, all right, guys. I guess now all I really got left to do is say thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Later.